think about a race car flying through the air at 190 miles per hour or a driver winning after being dead last. These aren't movie scenes, they're real moments from Formula One racing. Back in 2010, everyone watching the European Grand Prix held their breath when Mark Webber's Red Bull car went airborne after hitting another car. The car flipped completely before crashing into the barriers. Amazingly, Webber walked away without a scratch. But that's just one of many crazy moments in F1. We have seen everything from people running onto the track during races to cars catching fire in the pit lane. These moments show why F1 isn't just another racing series, it's where the impossible becomes possible. The greatest comeback ever. Let's talk about one of the most amazing races ever, the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix. Jenson Button pulled off something that sounds impossible. His race started badly, really badly. First, he crashed into his teammate Lewis Hamilton, forcing Hamilton out of the race. Then things got worse. Button got a penalty for driving too fast behind the safety car, which pushed him back to the 15th place. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, he crashed into Fernando Alonso and got a flat tire. This put him in last place, almost 2 minutes behind Sebastian Vettel, who was leading the race. But Button didn't give up. As the wet track started to dry, he began passing car after car, and by lap 44, he had fought his way up to 14th place. 2 laps later, he was in the top 10. His smart decision to switch to dry weather tires at the perfect time helped him catch up even more. He passed racing legends Michael Schumacher and Mark Webber like they were standing still. The most exciting part came on the very last lap. Vettel, who had led almost the entire race, made one small mistake. His car spun out on turn 6 and Button zoomed past him to win the race. It was like watching a movie, except it was all real. Button had done the impossible, going from last place to first place in one of the craziest races ever. When rain turns racing into chaos. Sometimes, Mother Nature likes to remind F1 drivers who's boss. At the European Grand Prix at Nürburgring, a normal race turned into complete chaos when the sky opened up. The rain came down so hard and fast that the track turned into something more like a river. Even the world's best drivers couldn't keep their cars on the track. It was like watching dominoes fall. First, Jenson Button spun off the track, then Lewis Hamilton lost control. Before anyone could catch their breath, Adrian Sutil, Nico Rosberg, Scott Speed, and Vincenzo Liuzzi all crashed in exactly the same corner within seconds of each other. Imagine that. 6 F1 cars worth millions of dollars sliding off the track one after another. These weren't rookie drivers making mistakes, these were the best drivers in the world, but the rain made it impossible to control their cars. The race officials had to stop the race because it was just too dangerous. It showed everyone that no matter how advanced these cars are or how skilled the drivers are, sometimes nature wins. A young driver makes history. Before Sebastian Vettel became a 4-time world champion, he was just another young driver with a small team called Toro Rosso. In 2008, at the Italian Grand Prix, he did something nobody thought possible. At just 21 years old, with only 19 career points to his name, Vettel shocked everyone by putting his car on pole position. But qualifying first was just the start. On race day, Vettel didn't just win, he dominated. He finished 12 seconds ahead of the second place car, which is like winning a marathon by a mile. This wasn't just Vettel's first win, it was also the first win ever for his team Toro Rosso. Even his team boss could hardly believe it. Winning your first race at Monza, one of F1's most famous tracks, is like hitting a home run in your first at-bat in the World Series. Crashes that make you hold your breath. F1 has seen some crashes that seem impossible to survive, but due to amazing safety features, drivers usually walk away. Take the 1993 Belgian Grand Prix where Christian Fittipaldi's car did a complete backflip after touching his teammate's car. Somehow, his car landed on its wheels and even crossed the finish line. More recently, at the 2010 Chinese Grand Prix, Sebastian Buemi's car literally fell apart at 180 miles an hour, but he wasn't hurt at all. Alex Peroni had an even scarier crash at Monza when his car hit a curb and went flying through the air like a paper airplane. He flipped several times before hitting the safety fence. While he did break a bone in his back, the fact that he survived such a crash shows how far safety has come in F1. The 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix gave us another crazy moment when 7 cars crashed in the first corner of the first lap. It started when Valtteri Bottas ran into the back of Lando Norris, which then caused a chain reaction taking out both Red Bull cars. At the same time, Lance Stroll made a mistake that collected 2 more cars. This led to one of the weirdest things ever seen in F1. When the race restarted, Lewis Hamilton was the only car on the starting grid because everyone else had to pit for different tires. Heroes behind the wheel. One of the most incredible drivers ever was Ayrton Senna at the 1991 Brazilian Grand Prix. Senna was already in the lead when his gearbox started breaking down. One by one, he lost his gears until he only had 6th gear left. Try to imagine driving a car stuck in top gear. Now imagine doing that while racing against the best drivers in the world. The effort of controlling the car with just 1 gear was so intense that Senna's muscles started cramping up badly. By the end of the race, he was in so much pain that he couldn't even get out of his car by himself. They had to lift him out, and he needed help just to stand on the winner's podium. But he didn't give up because this wasn't just any race, it was his home race in Brazil, and he had never won it before. This shows what makes F1 so special. It's not just about having the fastest car or the best technology, it's about the drivers who push themselves beyond what seems possible. They face challenges that would make most people give up, but they keep fighting until the end. These incredible moments are why millions of people love Formula 1. Every race has the potential to give us another amazing story, another impossible achievement, or another miracle saved from what looks like certain disaster. From comebacks that seem impossible to crashes that seem unsurvivable, from rookie drivers shocking the world to champions pushing through pain to win, F1 keeps proving why it's the most exciting motorsport in the world. Each race is a new chance to see something that's never been done before, and that's what keeps fans coming back for more. And speaking of incredible F1 moments, there are plenty more unbelievable stories to tell. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to catch our next video about the most devastating crashes that changed F1 forever. Thanks for watching.